Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Innama yakhsha Allah min ibadihi al-ulama. So dear respected Shaykh Mufti, actually our teacher, basically in the place our teacher Shaykh Mufti Barakatullah Sahib Madadulhul Ali, and other teachers, scholars and the students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a really great honor to be with you here this afternoon to share some words of the wisdom from the Quran and from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We basically, the college here is people where people can come and learn, and once they have learned, they can go and teach. So the basic purpose basically is to provide education. But when people learn and they are educated, what it means really, what education does to the people. So the basic purpose of education is to make you wise, to give you wisdom. That's the basic purpose. That people become wise, then they learn how to worship their Lord with the wisdom, with understanding and thinking, and they also learn how to use the space that they live in, how to use this space that Allah has given them, how to use them with wisdom. So education makes you wise. That's the first thing we have to learn really, that whenever we learn, we become wiser. That is the basic purpose. There is no other purpose. In Islam, education is not to make more money, it's not really to become more famous, it's not to get more power. Education has nothing to do in Islam with the power, with the money, with the fame. It just does one thing. It makes you wiser. It gives you wisdom. So that's what the Quran calls hikmah. You get hikmah and the wisdom from the education. If the education does not provide you wisdom, then basically you lost your time. You did not use your time properly. So after learning, after studying something, you must become more wise. And how you get this education which has wisdom, the basic thing in this matter really is, which many people keep missing, that when you learn something, you have to make effort to understand it. If you don't understand something, it simply means you don't know it. It simply means the most noble thing that Allah has given to the people is mind, intellect, aql. That is the most noble thing that human being has been given. If you study something, you learn something, but you don't understand, then you don't know it. If you teach someone something that you don't understand, you don't teach. Nobody will learn anything from you. The first thing really is, when you learn, you have to make effort to understand, to think, to use your mind to understand. And actually using the mind is the most difficult thing. In this world, it is easier for the people to do anything. Hard work with hand, people can do. But to think and think for themselves independently, that is the most difficult thing. That's why you can see in this world, taqlid is so common. That's what taqlid means. Taqlid basically means I don't need to think, somebody else think on my behalf. I just follow him. And God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never commands people not to use the mind. Actually, He commands the people to use the mind. The Quran is full of the verses where Quran keeps saying, think. Why don't you think? Why don't you understand? Actually, the Quran says that people who don't think and understand, Allah makes on their mind dirt and pollution. Quran says, those who don't think, don't understand, they become dirty. The people have to use the mind, think. And that all the prophets have been doing. So first basic manner, I have been asked to say something about the manners of learning. So the first basic manner is that you make effort to understand. Because if you really don't understand, you don't know anything. That is, for example, many people learn Arabic grammar, basic thing. And I've seen really when I test the people that they don't know. People memorize many things because they have not understood properly. When you memorize, it does not mean that you understand it. And if you don't understand, you don't know it. It could be possible that you know marfu'at, you have learned marfu'at, mansubat, mayurat, but what it means really, you know when you understand it. Similarly, when you study hadith, so hadith basically is not a simple thing. It actually has many things. You have to know the rijal, you have to know narrators, you have to know usul hadith, sahih and da'if and hasan and this and that. If you don't know what these terms mean, don't understand them, you have not studied. If you don't know the narrators of the hadith, you don't know it. For example, for many people, anything written in a book as a hadith is hadith. They don't understand really. There could be something fabricated, something could be munkar, something could be very weak. You are not allowed to use it. But many people, they think anything is a hadith, it's all the same. It's not all the same. It's so different. Similarly, for example, when you study fiqh, like in the Quduri, then more advanced Sharh Haqaya, then after that you come to the Hidayah, Bada'u Sana, and all these books. Many people think all the discussions and all the issues that are contained in these books, they are the same. They have same value. So very often people refer that, no, I read this in Hidayah, or in Quduri, or in Bada'u Sana. They give reference to these books. They don't understand really the materials which are used in these books. They are not one type. There are many types of material. There are something which are purely from the Quran and Sunnah. And the reference is there. There are many things which are not from Quran and Sunnah explicitly, but they are actually implied, they are inferred from the Quran and Sunnah. Their difference can happen. Because you understand this way, I understand this way. So you can have jurists even in the same madhab, they differ. So there are many issues in Hanafi madhab where Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Abu Yusuf and Muhammad, all these people agree. But there are certain issues in Hanafi madhab itself where they differ, because those things actually are not explicitly mentioned in the sources. So they understand different. There are many things in the books of the fiqh which belong to a context. If you live in Kufa, you think, the dealings of the people a certain way. If you move to Baghdad, it becomes something different. If you come to Bukhara and Samarkand, something different. If you come to India, something different. So in this matter, difference among jurists is much wider, because people belong to different space, to different time. So you can see really that when they think, they understand, they keep changing. Even if the same jurist, when he moves from Kufa to Baghdad, his opinions change. When Imam Shafi moved from Baghdad to Egypt, his opinions change. People keep changing from time to time, space to space. So this is also to understand. When you read Quduri, not all the things are the same. Similarly, for example, in Quduri and also in other books of the fiqh, there are many issues which basically purpose is to help the court. The purpose is really not to guide you, not guidance. So that's why they could see something they will say it is valid, sahih, or something like that, diyanatan, but not qadaan. What they want to mean really, because they have to help the court. And the court only can work on the basis of certain evidence and arguments. If those are missing, maybe you are right, but the court does not know you are right or wrong. So that many things are discussed in the books of the fiqh because they want to help the court. Jurists want to help the judge how he can make his opinion. So you can see really even in the book of same madhab, there could be information of different level. Some are divine, and they are purely from the Quran and Sunnah, but most are not divine. They basically a result of human understanding and thinking, but we treat them all equally. Reason is because we don't understand the information. So this is the basic thing. When you learn, make effort to understand. Even if you learn the grammar, make effort to understand what it means really. Because I've seen really many books, like in Urdu language, they will say rafa means dhamma, nasb means fatha, and jar means kasra. And then they read this, and then it remains in their mind until the end. I've seen really among my own colleagues, people actually have no difference between rafa and dhamma, between nasb and fatha, between jar and kasra, because they think all the same. That's how they have learned. Though, according to people of grammar, rafa and nasb and jar, they are i'rab. Dhamma, fatha, kasra, they are not i'rab. They are signs of the i'rab. They are alamatul i'rab. They are harakat. The big difference. It could be ism marfu, but not madmum. It could be ism mansub, but not asli maftuh. Like you can say, ra'aytu muslimatin mansub, but there is no fatha. Ism could be majroor, but no kasra. You say marartu bi umara, it is mansub, majroor, but no kasra. So this thing people have to understand what it means. Similarly, when people learn ghair munsarif, there are so many details. If people don't understand them, the misunderstanding will remain all the time. I've seen really people writing the books and they keep doing mistakes about those matters. Because they have not understood them. So anyway, this is what I want to repeat again and again. That use the mind, think that the first basic manner of learning. That when you come to the class, and make effort to understand. If the teacher tells you something, teach something, and you don't understand, you have full right to ask the question until you understand. Even if they become angry, even sometimes, I've been hit by my teachers. People could happen, but you need to insist that you have to understand. If you don't understand, you never can learn. You never know anything. So this first thing. Second thing is to work hard. There are no substitute, of this matter. People have to work hard, make effort. If somebody says to you that you respect your teacher and just eat his leftover, you become alim like him. So never believe. This never happens. This never going to happen that you eat your teacher's leftover, you become alim. Or somebody has water and you just drink and you become alim. It never can happen. Actually, anything that any of things of value, where people claim that you can get it without effort, without labor, you must be suspicious. Allah never made the world like that. If people say that you can become pious person by doing bay'ah to a shaykh and his influence will make you pious, it's never going to happen. Even if you live in the company of a prophet, you can't be pious person unless you do what he commands you, unless you do the same effort. If you live in the company of Abu Hanifa rahmahullah ta'ala, but you don't work hard, you can't become faqih. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmahullah, his company, there are so many people sitting around him, but not everybody is faqih. Those who work hard, even if they are not from his family, they will learn something. You could see many ulama, their children don't learn, though they accompany their father more than anybody else. All the time in the same house, they eat in the same plate, in the same food, but they don't learn anything because people need to make effort. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's way is that He gives you when you make effort. Simple thing. Any claim that people can get something without effort, it basically lie, it falls with magic. And Islam does not allow magic. Magic is the only thing where people claim you get something without doing something. This never allowed. It always you have to do. Like when the Prophet ﷺ, he used to make effort. All that, about the prayers, Quran says 2/3 of night in the prayers, making effort. The companions used to make effort. They travel. You can see the Prophet sometimes has to do hijrah, then he has to, travel through the same way, making effort. It never happened that, he just closes his eyes and he is now in Medina. No. When he comes from Medina to Makkah, he came for Umrah, he came for Hudaybiyah, he came for farewell Hajj. He had to travel, he had to move. Don't believe when the people say that, I live in Lahore and do the prayer in the Haram in Makkah. That never happens. This never can happen, never happened to any prophet, to any messenger. People have to do normal thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way is that follow the procedure, the norms, the sunnah that He has made. Sunnat Allah. People have to follow the same norm, even the messengers, even the Prophet. Quran says, in kuntum ta'lamuna fa innahum ya'lamuna kama ta'lamun. If you have pain, they also have pain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the what people have to do suffering. And if you read the biographies of all the ulama, that how they have been doing, working very hard. That people like early Sahaba, then Tabi'een, then people in later generation, they used to work hard. If you come to Oxford, actually I know many professors, they never watch TV. You think that they live in modern time, so they must have TV, mobile phones, and this and that. No, those who actually produce something, they don't have TV, they don't use internet so much. They all the time they're sitting with the books and writing and consulting. Sometimes they don't go to the party, they don't care about the clothes. They spend time, then they do something. But if we keep spending our time on the internet, on the TV, on mobile phones, on the newspapers, then certainly you can't learn anything. The second thing is making effort, sacrificing. And it again not easy. As thinking is not easy, similarly this making effort not easy. It's a very difficult thing. You need to force yourself. Nobody enjoys. Working hard is not easy. People even work hard on the day of Eid because they have to force something. You need to force. Don't delay your work. All the time, keep insisting on that, you're working hard. So these are the two basic things that use the mind and make the effort, and never become lazy. And whenever you have any book to read it, but with understanding properly. If you don't understand, read again, second time, third time. Reading the same book again, many times, it helps the people. Our teacher Mullah Abu Hassan Nadwi Rahmatullah used to say many times, he said that he read the book Qalila Dimna, that basically book of the stories are very nice stories, and the language very eloquent, and really until now you can use any part of Qalila Dimna. It is so nice, so eloquent. He said, I read the book 40 times. He read the whole book. He was so good at writing, so he read the whole book Qalila Dimna 40 times. So you can see the expressions, the language they learn. So I don't want to make it longer, because there's party, and I end it with a poetic verse of Iqbal that also our teacher Abu Hassan Nadwi used to read, recite very often, in Nazrul Ulama, in the beginning of the academic era and at the end of academic era as well. When he gave speech, so he used to read, अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी, तू अगर मेरा नहीं बनता न बन अपना तो बन. अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी, तू अगर मेरा नहीं बनता न बन अपना तो बन. The meaning is, अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी. Go deep in yourself, sink in yourself. Go think about it. Go deeper and deeper about yourself until you get the secret of the life. Don't just look at your skin and the face. Go deeper. Human being is not really what you see. Human being is much deeper. It's so deep inside. He says, अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी. If you want to know the secret of the life, you have to go deep. Think. Do all these things, not for me, at least do for yourself. Tu agar mera nahi banta na ban. If you don't want to be mine, if you don't want to help me, if you don't want to help your ummah, your people, your nation, Islam or Muslims, don't worry. Apna to ban. Be yours. At least think about yourself. What is going to benefit you? What is going to harm you? Think about your own life. What can make your life better. So don't worry about the people. Don't think really that I'm to learn for the sake of the people, for the sake of my ummah, to help Islam, to defend Muslims, to defend Sharia. The Shaykh was saying, don't think about anything. Just think really who you are. You need to study and work hard for yourself, not for anybody else, not for the Sharia, not for Islam, just for yourself. Your value basically depends, on this thing, on this understanding, and on this making effort. So I stop it here. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.